I liked Skids. Not the best thing in the world, but he was fun. However, Burnout here just takes the Skids mold and makes it a lot better. Burnout just kind of wears the mold better. She looks more striking even though it's mostly gray and black. The gray, that's the part I like the most. It's such a pleasing gray. The shade they use works so well with the black, and the little bits of red just pop with that gray. That choice in shade also helps the sculpted details pop more than the black on Skids. It's not as glossy, so it helps a lot when accentuating those details, because Skids uses a glossier material by the looks of it, and the more matte finish on Burnout just rocks this mold. I really like the head sculpt. The silver paint is extremely clean in its application, and the yellow eyes just work nicer than blue, especially on this color. The weapons are pretty much unchanged other than the fact that they're cast in gray and not black, but the silver application on the double barrel cannon is kind of strange. The silver on the handgun and on Skids is much different. Here it looks extremely messy and hand painted, which is strange. I don't know, I might just have got a funky copy, but it does look weird to me. It looks, you can see brush strokes almost. Like, the blue axe is also a slightly different shade of blue. All of the clear plastic is a different shade, so it looks more natural to a real life car over Skids. Like, the windows actually look like they would be proper windows and not just blue. Why do they make windows blue all the time? I've never seen a car with blue windows. They're always tinted or clear. Never blue. The axe is a really neat addition to the Skids mold, and I feel like it fits Burnout a lot better. I'll put her in some epic axe and gun poses so I can better show what I'm on about. I also just noticed the detail inside the doors. Like, they got friggin' door speakers and inner handles and stuff. That's great. Never noticed that on the Skids mode because it just kind of gets lost in that blue, whereas on the black here, you can see it a lot more. There are some iffy things about this mold in the articulation department, so let's have a look at that. So Burnout here has the same sort of articulation as literally anything else, but there's something here that bothers me, but I'll get to that. So you got like your normal ball jointed head that's a little limited due to the way it's sculpted. I'll get to the arms. That's what bothers me. You got waist joint, hips, normal thigh rotation, a knee bend, ankle tilt. I don't see any feasible way for it to have gone forward and back, so I'm not that mad, and the door's flat. But the arms are where I'm really annoyed. So they rotate, right, on the shoulder, do a full 360. They go out at the shoulder. You have a she did the splits. Bicep rotation. This is your normal. You have 90 degrees of bend at the elbow on like this weird ratchet thing that clicks into place up there. I don't understand that. I also just noticed she's got fake wheels molded in there. And then a wrist swivel. It's way too tight on mine. And the chest doesn't like to stay clipped in. There we go. But this is what annoys me. You go to move the arm up and that moves instead. The transformation joint. On this side it's fine, but then you go down and it's... Why doesn't it tab in? That's what bothers me. I really wish that stayed locked in, but it doesn't, and it just flops around. And Skids also does the same issue. My Skids. That bothers me because you gotta hold it when you're moving it, and it's just an awkward position to have to hold the toy to get the arm to move at its natural point. Otherwise, you know, you could make the argument, oh, that makes the arm go up higher, but it does that anyways. So you don't need that. It's just weird, and it's something that's always bugged me about this mold. Just figured I'd share that. Also, Cosmos just arrived. Even with those issues in the mold, it's still a very fun toy to mess with, and based on the robot mode alone, I recommend it. But let's get into that car mode. Transformation is fun and really easy. I much prefer the way that the arms are done here versus the Masterpiece, and the way the legs compress and hide a lot of the robot is just neat. And also, the roof actually stays in place. They fixed the issue on Skids, and I'm very happy with that. It actually tabs in now, and the tabs on the front of the windshield don't feel as fragile as they did on Skids, so that's another plus. One thing I will mention though is that on my copy of this, the torso doesn't like to snap in quite a bit, so that can be a bit annoying when going into robot mode, but Honda City Turbo mode is fantastic still. I love this car. This really makes it pop more. The red striping on the side is wonderfully applied. The grille looks a lot nicer with the gray bumper under it, and the tail lights are painted. That just makes a world of difference. I do wish the Autobot badge had the outline around it, but I can slap a toy hacks over that if I really wanted to. Guns still store in a ridiculous manner, but the axe still gives her like a rocket booster, so that's fun. Color matching the black, as I said in Guard's video, is not hard to do, but here they managed to mess it up a bit. It's not terrible. The colors themselves match. It's the gloss of the clear plastic paint versus the matte of the legs. The finish is what makes it not match, not the colors. And to me, I can, even though it's black, I can still kind of see it. Like, it's just, you can tell one panel's shinier than the other and it looks weird. I also just noticed the front grille is at a slight downward angle, and that actually makes it feel a tad bit more dynamic of a boxy car, but it's still just a small boxy car. Nothing wrong with that though. I love the Honda City Turbo. I'm really happy with this. It's a fantastic little deluxe that unfortunately is stuck at being exclusive, but hey, at least it's not a hard exclusive to find. There's also a Masterpiece coming out, so if that's something you want, that's something to look forward to. I definitely recommend getting this, even if you already have Skids, because it's just better than Skids. It fixes a lot of Skids' tabbing issues and just being boring issues. Like, you'd think this would be a little bit more boring because of the color scheme not being as vibrant as Skids is with like the silver thighs, but it just fits better to me. But that's my look at Legacy Velocitron Deluxe. This is not Skids, Burnout. There we go. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.